Thank you, Cobra Commander, for participating in CTCon, the documentary.
No problem.
The first thing that I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about CTCon?
CTCon is my home convention. I've been doing the CTCon, I've been doing the conventions for over 10 years, and CTCon is by far the best. It's home, it's close, great, it's not all over.
Have you had any epic moments at CTCon?
I have indeed, my dear sir. You see, I participated in deathmatch. Now, usually deathmatch we fight to the death. My first round, I stripped, and people loved it and went crazy. Because I'm so sexy because I'm over command. Yes, it was amazing.
Excellent, excellent. Is there a certain year that you would say is your favorite year from your experiences in CTCon?
I'm gonna have to say this year, actually.
Well, I know that you are a very busy man. Thank you for your time.
You're quite welcome. Go on and try.
Thank you for participating in CTCon, the documentary.
No problem.
My first question that I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about CTCon?
I love it. It's just this con that's constantly growing every year. The attendance is always getting bigger, but it always has this sort of small con feel. It almost seems like everyone's friends here. It's really friendly. I meet new people every year. And the other thing is, it's got that jack of all trades sort of con. No matter what you're into, if it's geeky, nerdy, sci-fi, Doctor Who, whatever, it's here. You know, everything's here.
In the CTCon's con, is there one year that you would consider your favorite year?
This is probably the generic answer, but I'd have to say CTCon 2009, because that was my first CTCon. It was just, feeling it out, seeing, what kind of con this actually is, and that's when it grew on me. That's why I came back.
Excellent. Have you had any epic moments while at CTCon?
Meeting John St. John this year was quite the epic moment, and just spending time with him and just seeing, it was not quite epic because of the way he is, but just epic because that's Duke Nukem. It's the most epic guy in all video games, and he's right there. That to me is.
Is there anything that you would like to say to a cosplayer, or maybe someone who hasn't cosplayed before, who has been thinking about going to CTCon?
If you want to cosplay, you want to be whoever you want. It doesn't matter. Sci-fi, anime, TV, even Renaissance and things of that sort. Do it. Come to CTCon. You'll be welcome, and people will love you.
Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Take care.
All right.
Thank you for participating in CTCon, the documentary.
No problem.
The first thing that I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about CTCon?
Well, this is only my second year here. I've staffed cons all over the Northeast, from ones up in Canada through, farthest south I've gone was the Steampunk World's Fair in New Jersey.
Okay.
Farthest west was CTCon out in Rochester, New York. It's a pretty good, fun con. I like it because it's multi-genre, where, I'm not necessarily these days much of an anime fan.
Yeah.
I'm much more of a gamer, kind of a social guy, so I get a lot more of that here than I do at, say, an Anime Boston or, another small anime con. So I enjoy CTCon quite a bit.
Excellent. So, only 2 years, and if it was a year later, maybe this question would be more appropriate, but it's a split decision. From the CTCons that you have been, which one has been your favorite?
For the shopping in the vendors room last year.
Okay.
But for the overall show experience, definitely this year.
Definitely.
I think they streamlined a couple of things. For example, bags in the vendors room, that was huge. I mean, it was just, a giant mess last year where people would be walking in and they'd be like, go and get your bags. They'd go into the dealer's room, they had nothing to put stuff in.
Yep, exactly.
So, this year, definitely.
All right. Now, here's one thing that I so far have not been able to get anyone else to describe this. This is a rather interesting situation that I have became aware of. You were taking care of business at Connecticut. Tell me about what exactly was the problem and how was business taken care of?
All right. Well, the question back kind of one level is why we needed to do this, why we needed to have kind of somebody in the vendor's room looking into the quality of the merchandise in the first place. And that came from complaints from the vendors. A number of them are, kind of on the straight and narrow. They sell only legit merchandise. They sell only imported, I keep saying legit, but like, it's very difficult to get that sometimes. It's expensive. I mean, you're importing it from Japan, so you're paying shipping, you're paying tariffs. You gotta tack on retail, and then on top of that, you gotta make something for yourself. So, your average Vocaloid or something, in Japan, it may cost $30, but you gotta sell it for $50, $55 over here. And bootlegs in the vendor's room cause kind of the opposite effect. They will sell them for $30, and then the attendees get out of the vendor's room. The lighting's not so good in there. They open up their products and they realize they just got ripped off. So it's not fair to the attendees. It's not fair to the vendors. And the vendors kind of raised enough of a stink about it that one of them knew me personally and said, "Matt, this guy knows his stuff. Get him on staff. Just stick him in the vendor's room for a weekend and see what happens." So that's kind of where all this started.
Okay.
I've worked with a couple of vendors, Anime Boston, Genericon, a couple of other shows, and in between that, I got a lot of experience being able to tell legit from fake merchandise. So what ends up happening is I get into the vendor's room, and there's one vendor in particular who had quite a bit of merchandise that was below subpar. Like, you could tell that it was knockoffs. I was getting complaints from vendors, I got complaints from attendees, and it started with, what kind of a 3-strike. First strike was, come on, let's get this off the table. Strike 2 was, I actually sat in his booth and pointed out as much stuff as I possibly could before I had to go around and look at other booths. And then by the time Saturday rolled around, it was kind of out of my hands in regards to game out. He still had so much stuff, and if it was a matter of pointing out what he could or couldn't sell, it would have been easier to point out what he could sell in his booth. So the Connecticon staff and the convention center staff basically surrounded his booth, asked him to pack up, and assisted him in doing so. So that the whole idea is basically we isolate the problem, we give them kind of a chance to clean up their act. I mean, that's only fair. Sometimes when you're importing stuff from Japan, when you're importing stuff from a foreign country, you don't know. And finally, when you're given all the warnings and you're still a repeat offender, you have to be made an example of. And we didn't want to have to do it, but I think it set a strong example for everyone else in the room that we're not afraid to do it. And in years future, it will probably be a lot easier to do it, as in many of the clauses that we're kind of explaining to the vendors this year will be written into their contracts. It already says in there it's illegal to sell bootleg merchandise. But because of years past, a lot of them have kind of assumed they can. I'm going to do it and you're not going to say anything, so we're all mutually happy. And that wasn't the intention, it was just not enforced. So, this year it was enforced.
I understand where you're coming from with this. It's not fair to the legit vendors. It's not fair to the people who have paid good money to come to Connecticut and have a wonderful time.
Right. And it's not...
I think it's great that this year the basic fist was brought down and okay, time to take care of business. Enough with these shenanigans.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
The biggest thing is, like you said, it's not fair to the fans. And the fans are what every show is all about,
And here's the thing. Without the people who come here, there is none of this.
Exactly.
Right?
We get to
They
hang out and
are
have
the
fun for a
reason
weekend.
that this place has been here for, what are we at, the 9th year?
9 or 10, I'm not sure.
Yeah. But thank you for your time.
Yep, no problem. Have a great one.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right, so Mr. Spock, thank you for participating in CinetiCon the documentary. Now, I know that you can't be Spock all the time, and that's fine. What I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about CinetiCon?
Well, my actual name is Halden. I'm the stage manager of main events, so I get to have a lot of fun running around this place. And I think that is a great time. It is a huge adrenaline high, just running around and doing what I can to make sure that the experiences of each and every con goer are as good and amazing as possible.
Now, in the CinetiCons gone by, does one of them stand up above the rest as your favorite year?
I really actually enjoyed last year, 2010. It was the one year that I actually was running around as Deadpool the most. It is interesting being in spandex for the majority of the weekend, but just the reaction that I got from everybody running around, everyone was just so excited. I mean, it's the same thing. When you get into a costume, all of these people are just so excited to see their heroes, their villains, the characters that they love, and bringing those onto the stage and being ridiculous and silly. Deadpool is just an insane character, so it leaves a lot of room for me to have fun instead of being very logical all the time.
You know, William Shatner, he can't do it right, so he has to do it like that. He has to like push this finger down. Yeah.
Poor Shatner.
Yeah.
Poor Shatner.
Like, I don't know if it's real or not. I saw it on a TV show. But yeah, supposedly either it was an epic bit or it's really degraded that much.
Apparently they didn't invent tape. Just tape the little fingers together.
Well, have you had any epic moments that you have had while doing what you do behind the scenes?
I think the thing that was the most epic for me was the year that we introduced, we have an event called the Death Match, where we pretty much form brackets, get everyone's favorite people up on stage, their favorite cosplays, duking it out back and forth, and just hearing the roar of the audience as Mookie gets up there and is like, who do you want to win, this guy or this guy? Just hearing people scream at the top of their lungs. This year, it was so crazy that we had to just use rock, paper, scissors to do a tiebreaker because we couldn't tell. People were screaming and enjoying themselves so much that they all wanted to lose their voice like me.
Like, the thing was, it was equal. This is something that has never happened before. It was equal. The roar, exactly the same. It was like,
it was awesome.
Wow. A lot of people can't talk because of the deathmatch today.
And it's a great feeling because the people love it so much that they're just giving their all just to see what they want to see. That, bringing that to a packed room, honestly, that is the reason to do it. The reason to help out, just to make thousands of people at once scream because they are so excited and so happy to do what they're doing.
Well, thank you so much for participating in this.
No problem.
If I'm around next year, let's do some shenanigans.
All right, I look forward to it. Thank you very much for all of this.
Man. Take care. Thank you for your time, good sir.
Thank you.
And welcome to CinetiCon, the documentary. What I want to ask you is, how do you feel about CinetiCon as well?
CinetiCon is great. It's a multi-venue convention, and it offers a lot of opportunity for a lot of people that normally wouldn't get to enjoy this to enjoy it.
How many years have you been a part of ConnectiCon?
About 6 now. Yeah, since the beginning, so.
Have you noticed any differences between the beginning and...
We've gotten bigger, and things have changed a little bit. Like, we used to be mostly a college con, and we could do more things then and get away with it, but we didn't have any sponsors. And we actually turn a profit now, so unlike before.
That's great.
Before we used to be in the negative every year, so
Really?
yeah. Well, we had to pay for stuff
It's
all
awesome.
ourselves.
Well, it's like with a young convention, it's pretty hard.
It's hard.
And last but not least, because I know you're a very busy person being staffed here, any memorable moments that you would like to share with me?
Well, I did end up running around the first year, because the first year was just there. We weren't near any hotels, so it was people were sleeping at the convention.
Okay.
So I was running around managing with a box of Joe, the whole thing, poured cream and sugar in it, and just drinking the whole thing.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
You should have had someone filming that, putting it up on YouTube. That sounds really
probably,
good.
but it can't be good for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of caffeine.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yep. See ya.
All right, take care.
Peace, man.
Right off the bat, I would like to ask you about your experiences being a part of the behind the scenes of ConnectiCon.
Actually, it's been really a fun time. I've been going to ConnectiCon since 2003. My first cosplay was going to see Ancient One Foreign Warriors, and I've been going here ever since. Let's see. I think I didn't start volunteering to possibly 2006, and then by the time 2008 hit up, I started becoming a staffer here, and that's been pretty much my experience here with ConnectiCon. You know, there's like a lot of priority to helping people here. You know, organize events and stuff, making sure everyone's just having a blast. Just seeing their smiles here really makes it more exciting knowing that we're doing a good job here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When, throughout your experiences in ConnectiCon, I see you're in cosplay today. Is there a rather epic cosplay that you have done in the years past?
This has been my only cosplay epic I've ever done. 2006, when I did the hero from Dragon Quest VIII on the fun stage. The same year they first started doing cosplay chess. And what really drew them in more was when I was the White Bishop, and we started doing player summons when they like the idea I was doing, and I summoned Baldo against Misa from Death Note, and everybody liked it. I had him pawn her, so that was really an awesome time.
Fantastic. So would that be your most memorable moment at ConnectiCon?
Most certainly.
Is there anything that you would like to say to someone who's thinking about volunteering at ConnectiCon?
Well, you know, there's some benefits to it. You know, we do have like I think it's the 8-hour. If you volunteer more than that, you get to keep your shirt. 16 hours is when you get like your free ConnectiCon pass here to attend next year. That you don't have to have any experience whatsoever. It's you know, we'll tell you around the spot what to do. And everybody pretty much has time. You know, when they do their shifts, they can also take a break and just come back to finish their time. And we have everything from screenings for them, or doing back checkage, and making sure everybody's doing well here, and if there's like an incident, they'll come to us, and we'll handle it from there. But really, ConnectiCon, we can't do it without our volunteers here, because they're the ones
This is true.
who help makes this event happen the most for everyone here. So, definitely, they are awesome.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I would like to ask you, how do you feel about it?
I feel really cool about ConnectiCon. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I enjoy it immensely. Come here, work hard, cup of coffee. Makes me happy.
Cup of Joe is very essential when it comes to conventions.
Yes, it is.
Have you had any memorable moments while being staff?
I've been through staff. Been at a lot of conventions for a long time, but as for memorable moments with ConnectiCon, yes and no.
Yeah.
Most memorable moment was in 2003 when we used to be across the city, I believe, on the other side of West Hartford. Okay. Lots of good times, a lot smaller. Everybody was pretty much in one room spread across the campus, so a lot of walking. But it was a really good time. But that was actually the first year of ConnectiCon. Wow. And back when we not in this place, it's just amazing how much it's grown. I actually left for 6 years while I was overseas, and I come back and it's like, wow, ConnectiCon has sure grown. Sweet.
What have you noticed from the old versus the new? Have you seen the improvements throughout the years?
Well, through the years there always comes improvements. That's at any convention you'll go to. But as for ConnectiCon, they've continued to grow, contribute to mature. It's really good. Look, they take up the largest convention. We take up the largest convention center here in Connecticut, and that has to say something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That in itself speaks volumes.
I know my experiences has been that this convention always has a really great family atmosphere. After a while, you get the feeling of oh yeah, this place is pretty laid back.
Yeah, it's pretty laid back. I like it here. Come here, work hard, have fun.
Is there anything else that you would like to say about ConnectiCon?
No, not really. I'm probably going to need another cup of coffee.
All right, awesome. Thank you for participating.
Good to meet you.
Thank you for participating in ConnectiCon, the documentary.
Thank you for interviewing me.
First thing I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about ConnectiCon?
I like it quite a bit. It's the only con I've been to, but it's just amazing because everyone's so close knit and you know everybody, and it's getting bigger every year. So it's just you're amazed by the amount of people that are here, and I find that.
All right, you can, everyone just.
I'm so bad at this. I love ConnectiCon because it's very close-knit and very friendly. It's got a great atmosphere, and the staff is amazingly friendly and amazingly helpful, and so are the volunteers and the people that come to the convention to cosplay and hang out whatever are really nice, and it's just something that's really cool to go to. I like it a lot.
Have you had any epic experiences while cosplaying?
A few last year when I first dressed as Johnny, this character, and when I was in Dunkin' Donuts having my breakfast, someone came up to me and asked me if I was, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and I said yes, and they asked for a picture, and I got to take my picture next to this inflatable coffee cup with sunglasses and this big old I'm boss grin on his face and stuff. It was great. And then the death match I participated in last year was just mind blowing. I have major stage fright, but it was so much fun to do, and the whole weekend was great. This weekend so far has been amazing. I got to go to my first rave last night and danced my butt off with a backpack on my back.
Well, that sounds awesome.
It was.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about coming to ConnectiCon?
I would say definitely come. Like, it's, like I said before, it's a really, like, great atmosphere, and a lot of the people are really friendly, and it's not too crowded, but it's not, like, so small that, like, there's nothing. There's so much stuff here. There's the gaming room, there's the board games, the RPGs, the LARPing, the boffer. It's there's so much to do here. It's not even funny, and you will never get bored.
Well, once again, thank you for participating and have a great time at the convention.
Oh, thank you.
So, thank you for participating in ConnectiCon, the documentary.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Well, I gotta ask you right off the bat, because you have a different insight that I haven't been able to talk to anyone else about. Your insight as an exhibitor, how do you feel ConnectiCon has been for you this
ConnectiCon, well, ConnectiCon's my favorite convention because there's just so much heart here, I feel. As an exhibitor, and a webcomic, you get treated with a rare amount of respect here at ConnectiCon. There's so many webcomics, and we're a dime a dozen, but ConnectiCon still treats webcomics like a really valid medium, and they give us a lot of respect, and we try and give that same respect back to ConnectiCon. So we try to be the best exhibitors we can be, the best guests we can be, and they give as much to us as we give to them, and vice versa, and it's just a really great symbiotic relationship so far. I've never had a complaint here, and I've been to every ConnectiCon since the very first one.
It's the same thing with me. I've been to so many ConnectiCons, and I consider this my favorite.
Oh, it's like coming home. It's like coming home. I actually knew the con chair before. I met the con chair while ConnectiCon was just getting started, just before the first one, and we became friends before ConnectiCon even launched, and I've just been friends with him ever since, and me and the convention have been friends ever since. So it's like coming home.
Can you talk about some of your experiences on the other thing that you are known for at ConnectiCon?
Well, there's a lot of things I'm known for at ConnectiCon.
Seeing a certain death match, perhaps?
The death match is my baby, actually. They first asked me a few years ago to MC the chess game, the cosplay chess game, and I was doing that for a few years, and it was a lot of fun. I had this great back and forth with the crowd and the chess pieces and the players. It was this rare marriage of a great relationship on stage between the crowd and me and the players. But one year I noticed that the last couple of years there was a lot more chess going on than there was the fighting.
Yeah.
That's what people really were cheering for. That's what people really wanted. At the end of each chess game, with all the leftover pieces, I would say, "All right, we got some leftover pieces here. Let's figure out what we're gonna do with them." So I would bring up 2 chess pieces, and I would go, "Who do you want to win?" I'd put my hand up, the crowd would go crazy cheering for their favorite characters, and I remember standing next to one young lady in like a sailor something outfit, and when the crowd was cheering for her, she like took a step back, she looked at me, and she was, "Oh my god," like she was just blown away by the cheering. So I thought to myself, why can't we just skip to this? Why can't we just make an event that's all crowd controlled? It's the crowd participation is what moves it forward, so they're never just watching something, they're controlling what's happening. So that's what engages an audience, them having that control, them having that level of participation, them having that level of all those things.
Yeah.
So we tried it one year. I hijacked the chess game and I made it into the death match.
And I think I was in that.
I think you were in that one, yeah. And then just last year, for the first time, we built it deathmatch by itself, and it got great attendance, it got great response, and I'm hoping this year we capture the same lightning in that bottle again.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. You never know when something's going to go wrong, but we don't have a lot of plans, so there's less plans that could go wrong if you don't have any plans. So.
This is true. This is very true. It's a letdown from my point of view that I won't have a chance this year to go toe-to-toe with a certain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, the Jack Sparrow who won last year. He was amazing.
Well, you know as well as I do. The bone that I have to pick with the food.
Oh, he got you last year. Yeah. I remember that.
He took my woman. I'm not cool with that. And the year before,
he took
my brother Joker. That definitely irritates me.
That's what pirates do, man. They steal from you. But you can't expect to be nice.
Thank you for participating.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's always a pleasure talking with you. And who knows? Maybe ConetiCons down the line, I'll be emceeing a concoction of my own. I don't know. Anything's up for grabs.
Absolutely, man.
It's just so great. It really is a wonderful convention.
It's my favorite.
Thank you for your time, and I'll see you at the death.
See you the death match. Good luck up there.
I would like to thank you guys for participating in what I am calling ConetiCon the documentary. Basically, what I would like to know is your insight on ConetiCon from your point of view. Because you are the guys that are behind the scenes. A lot of the people, unless they are volunteering, don't see your side of the story when it comes to this convention.
Yeah, we kind of like it that way. That's what we prefer. We kind of would like our members to just have a good time and not worry about all the details and all the problems and the issues and the drama that goes on. But otherwise, we try to have a good time ourselves and try to make it so for our members. And that's pretty much the gist of it. We're fans ourselves, and that's how it started. For fans, by fans. Not really too much else I can say.
Have you had any epic moments while being staff at ConetiCon?
There's been a lot of epic moments. A lot of cool people that you meet. Great cosplays. Every year it's something different. Every year it's a new thing, and that's why we keep coming back. Can't think of anything off the top of my head though.
Have you had the opportunity to be the voice?
No, that's out of my realm.
What do you do to get that? Because I think I could be a really good voice for that.
So yeah, that's a staff out thing, I guess. I don't know. Every department's got their own responsibilities and duties and does their own thing. So
in the ConetiCons of years gone by, do you have a favorite year?
I do actually. Probably like a few years ago, just went really well for me and just had a lot of fun. Had a lot of cool people. I just really rocked it out on the pavilion and at the dance and stuff. And I haven't really been able to replicate that same scenario yet, but it's always what I aspire to at this point. That's sort of set the bar and such, but otherwise, as far as like content and things like that, being a staff member means you don't usually get to partake too much until maybe a little bit later on, or just for a few hours here and there and stuff. So there's a lot of good panels, a lot of good stuff that we have that I'm just not able to check out.
How about your friend over here? Have you had any epic moments while being staff in ConetiCon?
Off the top of my head, I really can't think of anything. But it's just the thrill of being able to go around and just find stuff to do, whether it be sitting at doors and checking for badges, or testing video games to make sure they're all working and unlocking levels and stuff like that. You just meet a lot of really cool people, and the cosplays are always one of my favorite types of things. I love seeing all the people running around all dressed up. It's quite the experience.
Well, I would like to thank you guys for participating. My hope is that when everything is done, that people will have the opportunity to, even if they can't make it, they'll have a good opportunity to see what ConnectiCon is really about.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
Zombie Day, we're rolling.
Well, thank you for participating in ConnectiCon, the documentary.
You're welcome.
The first thing I would like to ask you is, how do you feel about it? What does it mean to you?
It's like a second family. I've been doing this for about 8 years now. I've been doing it for a long time. I love this place. It's like a second home to me.
I really love the laid-back atmosphere here. It's like, after a certain amount of time, you basically know everyone. It's really cool.
It's like a big con with a small con feel, with staff at least. Everyone knows each other. Everyone sees each other the same number of times. It's like the con you go to meet people.
Oh yeah.
And you truly meet people.
Well, another thing that I would like to ask you is, from the ConnectiCons gone by, do you have a favorite year?
Probably 2009. I was bloody awesome. I met the guy Mike I've been going around with. I met him there. I met my girlfriend without her having an old lady hit on me there. My best year, I was sick as a dog though.
Oh yeah?
Oh, I was sick. But it was my favorite year. First year I was 21.
Oh, well, all right, say no more. I understand how that can be.
Oh yeah.
What would you tell someone who is thinking about coming to ConnectiCon that hasn't had the chance to be here yet?
Come as fast as you can. Because what the economy is now, you never know when you're going to go. But just stop like that. Look what happened to Bath. It was there one year, gone the next. As long as people keep coming, the convention will keep happening. That's the best part. This is the con for the people, from the people.
Oh yeah.
I remember in 2005 it was, when the convention first moved here. It was the con goers that raised up 25 grand pretty much to save the con. So this is truly a convention's con goers con.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.